So I have a strong dislike for standardized tests. I couldn't think of it for a second because more often than not, when I go to take one, I always come across some section that's either beyond my comprehension completely or enough to where I just start sitting around looking back and forth. And the good thing about taking tests during an actual day of school is that you can basically, if you're done, you can just turn it in. You don't have to put up on anything else. Standardized test, you have to sit there and wait, like this. I mean, who does that excite? I don't see why I should have to stay with other people, especially when the majority finish. And I hate it so much when the entire group of people taking a standardized test together finish, and the proctor's still, oh, you got another 30 minutes, so you, you might as well just sit there and relax. No, let me out. Let me go. Release me to the public. Uh, that's already what I dislike. The other problem comes from the fact that I think more often than not, I actually just sit in there for hours. It takes so long. That's my biggest problem with it out of anything. It takes so long to where every time I go up in there, I say, I better just throw my phone in the trash. I don't even want to look at the clock because that's going to make me think I'm just sitting in here wasting my time. And that's really what it amounts to because I could have, if just given that the test and the Scantron answer sheet, whatever, and told to, I guess, take it home, I could have finished that in probably less than an hour. Because the sections that I don't know, I'm going to speed through. I'm not going to go and sit there and waste 2 hours staring at, or close to 2 hours, or an hour and a half staring at for no reason. When if the answers aren't coming to me when I see the stuff initially, it's not coming. And I think that's where standardized tests fail more often than not. They assume people are going to, get into these tight situations where they might not know something, and then just magically the answer will pop up in their head and they'll pass. That's really what they think. They go over because they wouldn't have it set up this way where you sit and stare at the test until your eyes turn different color for no reason other than the fact that other people are taking it and the timer hasn't gone off yet. And then you can't even do anything when you're waiting patiently, as they describe it. During the math sections on those standardized tests, I would just pull out my calculator and just randomly type in some numbers, just do something. Or if it's one of those advanced calculators where with all the letters, I'll just go and type the letters in as well, like write a script on the calculator. I never get that far because you have to keep pressing this one button, turn to a letter, and over and over again. It's tedious and it's annoying, and I don't feel like doing that. So every time we have those types of tests, always amounts to me just sitting around either doing something stupid, like playing with a calculator, or messing with my fingers a little bit, for whatever reason, playing with these. Uh, Again, it's so useless. At that time you have, you could be studying for another class. You could be at work. You could be doing anything at all except for sitting there and wasting time living. Every time I wake up on a day that isn't school, I always surround myself with doing something, especially something I think will benefit me in the long run. I can't sit around the house and waste time and just do nothing. I can't. Most of them I can't even just sit and watch TV, unless it's something educational. Or if I'm with somebody, then that changes the whole argument because then I feel as if I'm spending valuable time with a person. That's enough on that issue. I'll talk about that in another video. So you're just sitting there wasting your time doing nothing, completely just doing nothing. I can't even. There's no other words to describe it. I ran out of words. Comebacks. There, because there's nothing else to describe how useless that is. And then what I hate more than anything else, this is the part that just, if I have to take another one of these and I see this on there, I'm tempted to just rip up the whole test. They have on the back of the ACT, or at least the one I took this past Saturday, and on the back of the test it says, because it asks you a couple of questions, there are about 15 of them, and it will ask you, oh, do you want to take the ACT online, or if it was online, would you take it? And I go, yes, put it online, please. Yeah, definitely, definitely, absolutely. Oh, I'd love that. And then 2 months passing, and you're back up at the school in the morning, taking it again, and they give you that same test with the same exact question. Oh, if the ACT were online, would you take it again? Yes, I would take it again. Why are you making it to where I have to keep sitting up at this school? Why don't you just put it up on the internet? I mean, to use. It makes no sense. That's what I don't like about this test. They want to keep asking me the same question over and over again. I give them the same answer over and over again. Then they don't do it. And I just wonder, how hard is it to just have someone go online and set these questions up on a website and have the test be graded by the computer? The only part they could maybe have some trouble with or actually require some human involvement would be the essay that they have accompanied with the ACT. That's the only part, and the SAT. But those are the only parts that would actually require something besides a drone or some other cyborg or part of technology that I can't describe at this point. There's no reason why they need a person to go through all of these. They already put the Scantron in the computer for exams. At least at exams I've taken before. So why can't they just have some type of? These websites exist. It's a website with a test on there, and once you do it and submit your answers out in multiple choice, it'll tell you what you got right and what you got wrong. The ACT would be so much better if it was that way. I mean, no more sitting around wasting your time, fiddling with your fingers and playing with calculators like I did twice this in the latter months of this year. Just allow me to have some type of way to do this test and do it in a timely manner. There's no reason I should waste a whole morning on a test that if I say, oh, I don't want to go to college, oh, that was a morning wasted. You know, I could forgive every aspect of just these annoyances if they just went out and did it. And it really takes no time at all. They just set up a website where it's graded by the multiple choice questions that you get right. And the ones you don't get right, it tells you which ones you got wrong. So when you do retake it after paying somebody for further access on the website, you can just retake it, get those right, or study for those, whatever, and then pass or do better than you did before. I don't see why it can't be that way. I mean, I'm dazed and confused on that.